evening and welcome to Biz RoundUp. I'm Tamiru Nimsa and we at our television bring you a collection of business highlights. Let's have a look at the headlines. December import surge, 29.3% growth reflects economic recovery. President Ranil Kumar to embark on landmark visit to UAE. Government announces. Japan boosts Clean Sri Lanka program with a grant of 565 million rupees. News in detail. President Ranil Kumar said that all citizens have to play an integral part to achieve economic, social and cultural freedom as a country. The President said this speaking at the 77th Independence Day celebrations held in Colombo on the 4th of this month.
රටට ආර්ථික, සමාජීය, සංස්කෘතික නිදහස පූර්ණ ලෙස දිනා ගැනීමේ මෙහෙයුම තුළ ඔබ අප සියලු දෙනා එකම අරගල බිමක අරගල කරුවන් වන බව අප සියලු දෙනා එකවන්ව මේ මාතෘ භූමිය වෙනුවෙන් තව දුරටත් කළ යුතු නිදහස් අරගලයක් තිබෙනවා. මේ මෙහෙයුම තුළ අපේ ජාතියට ආහාර නිෂ්පාදනය කරන ගොවියන් හා දීවරයන් ලෙස ඔබට එහි භූමිකාවක් තිබෙනවා. අපේ ජාතියට දැනුම නිෂ්පාදනය කරන ඒ දැනුමෙන් අනාගත පරම්පරාවන් පෝෂණය කරන ගුරුවරුන් ලෙස ඔබට එහි කාර්යභාරයක් තිබෙනවා. අපේ ජාතිය නිරෝගී බව සුරකින සෞඛ්‍ය සේවයේ ක්‍රියාධරයන් ලෙස ඔබට එහි කාර්යභාරයක් තිබෙනවා. අපේ පුරවැසි ආරක්ෂාව සහතික කරන පොලිසිය සහ ආරක්ෂක අංශ ලෙස ඔබට එහි වගකීමක් තිබෙනවා. අපේ රට තුල ශක්තිමත් නිෂ්පාදන ආර්ථිකයක් ගොඩනගෙන අපේ රටේ කාර්මිකකරණය කරා ගෙන යන අපේ රටේ සේවා ආර්ථිකය ශක්තිමත් කරන ඔබ සියලු දෙනාට එහි සුවිශේෂී භූමිකාවක් තිබෙනවා. ඇඟලුම් කම්මල් සේවක සේවිකාවන්ගේ සිට කඳුකරේ තේදළු නෙලන ගැහැණුන්ගේ මිනිසුන්ගේ සිට අපෙන් දුරස්ව සිටමින් දුරු රටවල අප වෙනුවෙන් වෙහෙසෙන්නන්ගේ සිට තොරතුරු තාක්ෂණයෙන් අපේ රට ඉහළට ගෙන යාමට වෙරදරන සංචාර කර්මාන්තයෙන් අපේ රට ඔසවා තබන්නට වෙහෙසෙන ඔබ සැමට එහි භූමිකාවක් තිබෙනවා.
Speaking further at the event, President Disanayake said that Sri Lanka can no longer be a weak link in the global economic system that gets trampled by every little movement. The President emphasized that everybody has to make sacrifices in order to make economic freedom a reality.
ගෝලීය ආර්ථික පද්ධතිය තුළ දුබලයෙකු නොවී ඒ සෑම චලනයකින්ම තැලෙන පෑගෙන යටත් වැසියෙකු නොවී ආර්ථික තලය තුළ අපේ නිදහස සාක්ෂාත් කරගන්නට නම් අප සියලු දෙනා එක්ව මේ මාතෘ භූමිය වෙනුවෙන් කැපවිය යුතුව තිබෙනවා. ඒ ආර්ථික නිදහස වෙනුවෙන් අපි කරන අරගලය තුළ අපේ සමාජීය සංස්කෘතික නිදහස කිසිසේත්ම දෙවෙනි කොට සැලකීමට අප සූදානම් නැහැ. ඒ නිසා කලාකරුවන් ලෙස, ලේඛකයන් ලෙස, ජනමාධ්‍යවේදීන් ලෙස, ශාස්ත්‍රඥයන් ලෙස වෛරයෙන්, ක්‍රෝධයෙන් අපවිත්‍ර කරනු ලැබූ අපේ ජාතික ආත්මය පවිත්‍ර කරන්නට, සුවපත් කරන්නට ඔබට ඇත්තේ අත්හැරිය නොහැකි වගකීමක්. එහිදී අපේගේ ආගමික නායකයින් වෙත සුවිශාල වගකීමක් පැවරී තිබෙනවා. එසේම මේ රටේ අනාගත පරපුර හදා වඩා ගන්නා සුවාසක් ආදරණීය මව්වරුන්, ආදරණීය පියවරුන් ලෙස ඔබටත් එහි ඇත්තේ සුවිශේෂී කාර්යභාරයක්. ඒ වගේම හෙට දින මේ රට බාර ගැනීමට සූදානමින් අද දින සිත් සතර හදාරන දුවාදරුවන් ලෙස ඔබට එහි අද්විතීය භූමිකාවක් තිබෙනවා.
President Ranil Kumar Disanayake is set to embark on a landmark visit to the United Arab Emirates from the 10th to 13th of February at the invitation of UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. This was announced by the Minister of Foreign Affairs in a statement released earlier this week. The visit centers on the World Government Summit 2025 in Dubai, where President Disanayake will deliver a keynote address. In addition, the President will hold bilateral talks with UAE leaders, including President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan and Vice President Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Discussions will cover a range of mutual interests to further strengthen ties between Sri Lanka and the UAE. President Disanayake is also scheduled to engage with CEOs from global giants in IT, artificial intelligence, energy, tourism, finance and media, aiming to attract key investments to Sri Lanka. Moreover, the President will hold bilateral meetings with heads of state and government from several countries attending the summit, marking a significant step in advancing Sri Lanka's international partnerships. Sri Lanka's tourism sector is celebrating a major milestone as January 2025 records the highest ever tourist arrivals for the month, setting the tone for a promising year ahead. Provisional data from the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority reveals that 252,761 international visitors arrived in Sri Lanka last month, marking a 21% increase compared to January 2024 and surpassing the figures of January 2018, previously regarded as the country's best tourism year. This achievement places January 2025 as the second highest month for tourist arrivals in Sri Lanka's history, following the all-time high recorded in December 2018. India retained its spot as the largest source market, contributing 17.2% of total arrivals, followed by the Russian Federation at 13.5% and the United Kingdom at 8.6%. Other key markets included China, Germany, France, and the United States. The SLTDE has set an ambitious goal for 2025, attracting 3 million international visitors and generating $5 billion in revenue, as the nation continues to showcase its unique attractions and resilient spirit. Stay tuned. We will return after this short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Sri Lanka's imports surged to $1,924.5 million in December 2024, marking the highest monthly import outflow for the year and a significant 29.3% increase compared to December 2023. This spike reflects heightened year-end demand and an overall recovery in the economy.
Meanwhile, merchandise exports brought in $1,101.8 million, up 10% year-on-year, driven by strong performances in industrial and agricultural exports. Higher tea prices and robust exports of petroleum products, spices and coconut-related goods contributed significantly to this growth. However, this led to a trade deficit of $822.7 million for December, a sharp rise from the $486.8 million recorded in the same month of 2023. For the full year 2024, total imports amounted to $18.84 billion, while exports reached $12.77 billion, resulting in a trade deficit of $6.07 billion, up from $4.9 billion in 2023. Petroleum product exports doubled by $1.06 billion, while textiles and garments contributed to $5.06 billion, making it only the second year the sector surpassed the $5 billion mark. On the import side, machinery and equipment import rose 26.5%, signaling increased investments in infrastructure and construction. Spending on fuel imports decreased by 7.4% thanks to lower global prices. Consumer goods imports increased 13.9%, reflecting rising consumer spending. With the recent lifting of Sri Lanka's 5-year suspension on personal vehicle imports, the central bank reassured that it is well prepared to support up to $1 billion worth of vehicle imports in 2025 without affecting the country's economic stability.
The Sri Lanka Purchasing Managers Index for construction recorded an expansion in construction activities for December 2024. According to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, the index for construction maintained an index value of 51.4, the same as in the month before that.
While the steady index reflects stable activity levels, respondents emphasize the urgent need for large-scale construction projects to sustain industry growth. Key highlights from the report include new orders remain consistent, reflecting similar approval levels for construction projects as the previous month. It also included that the employment index continued to decline, though at a slower pace. The report further included the quantity of purchases index rose, aligning with increased construction activity. However, suppliers' delivery times were prolonged during December.
Headline inflation in Sri Lanka continues its downward trend, remaining in negative territory for the fifth consecutive month. The Colombo Consumer Price Index recorded a deflation of 4% in January 2025 compared to the 1.7% deflation in December 2024.
Breaking it down further, non-food deflation increased to 4.7%, while the food category saw a deflation of 2.6% year-on-year. Month on month, the CCPI rose slightly by 0.47%, driven by higher prices in both food and non-food categories. Core inflation, which reflects the underlying trends, decelerated to 1.2% in January, down from 2.7% in December. The central bank projects deeper deflation in the near term, influenced by the recent downward adjustment in electricity tariffs. However, inflation is expected to return to positive levels, aligning with the targeted 5% over the medium term, supported by appropriate policy measures.
Stay tuned. We will return after this short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. In a step toward enhancing waste management in Sri Lanka, the government of Japan has extended a grant of 300 million Japanese yen, approximately 565 million Sri Lankan rupees, under the Clean Sri Lanka program. A memorandum of understanding for this grant was signed at the Presidential Secretariat recently.
The agreement was finalized by Japan's Parliamentary Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sayama Akiko, and Sri Lanka's Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, Mahinda Siriwardana. This funding will produce 28 garbage compactors to boost waste transport capacity in the western, northern and eastern provinces, with allocations of 14, 8 and 6 trucks respectively. Vice Minister Sayama praised Sri Lanka's anti-corruption initiatives, highlighting their role in attracting global investment, and reaffirmed Japan's commitment to support the country's development and governance reforms. President Dissanayaka expressed deep gratitude for Japan's continued support, emphasizing the long-standing friendship between the two nations. He also acknowledged Japan's role in Sri Lanka's debt restructuring and resumed development projects. The event saw the participation of high-ranking officials, including Japanese Ambassador Isamoto Akio and senior representatives from both nations.
Sri Lanka takes a leap forward in strengthening trade ties with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The Sri Lanka Export Development Board, in partnership with the Sri Lankan Embassy in Saudi Arabia, organized an outward trade delegation recently.
8 leading Sri Lankan food and beverage processors and exporters participated in this initiative, showcasing products like canned food, coconut-based items, value-added spices, and sugar-free beverages. The delegation engaged in productive B2B meetings with Saudi buyers, facilitated by the Federation of Saudi Chambers and other institutions. These discussions resulted in new business partnerships, product launches, and fresh insights into the Saudi market. Visits to major retail outlets including Tamimi Market and Lulu Hypermarket provided valuable exposure to market trends. Notably, plans are underway to establish a Sri Lankan corner at Tamimi Market to showcase Sri Lankan products to Saudi consumers. At Alamari, one of Saudi Arabia's largest F&B companies, the delegation explored potential long-term collaborations, signaling stronger trade ties between the two nations.
In a major diplomatic development, Sri Lanka and the United Arab Emirates have finalized the proposed agreement on reciprocal promotion and protection of investments. Delegations from both countries met in Colombo to sign the agreement recently.
The agreement aims to enhance economic collaboration between the two nations by fostering mutual investment opportunities. The talks were led by Sri Lanka's Deputy Legal Advisor, Tilani Silva, and UAE's economic expert Dr. Hamid Nasser Abdul Qadir. The discussions were described as friendly and constructive, culminating in a finalized text of the agreement. The official signing is expected soon, marking a new chapter in Sri Lanka-UAE economic relations.
With that, we wind up for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. See you tomorrow with State of Business at 7:45 p.m. Take care and good night.